This is a message to all the 2020 Matrics. I've really been thinking about you guys over the last few days quite considerably, because I really understand that this must be a very difficult time for you. You've been working hard towards this year for so long now, and I can understand there must be a huge amount of frustration built up inside you for whatever reason it is, whether it's because you are trying to get the best academic marks, or whether you're trying to still be in that A-team rugby or best water polo team, or whether it's the school drama that you've been preparing for. It doesn't really matter. But I've had quite a lot of experience of facing storms, and what do we do when times get tough. And I quickly want to relate one story to you, and that is I'm a professional adventurer, and one of the big expeditions that I've been on many big expeditions, was rowing across the Atlantic Ocean with a very good friend of mine, Bill Godfrey. Our objective, we trained for 2 years full on to get just to the start line, and our objective on that race was to win the race and to break the world record, and we did both. But during that row, we rowed an hour and a half on, an hour and a half off, and it was taai gewees. And we really suffered in order to achieve our goal, and that was winning the race and breaking the world record. And our hands were basically rode raw and almost onto the bone. We got boils on our backside. But one of the things that I remember is that we had 4 storms during that first row, and every single time we got into the storm, we were really worried about what it is, like how are we still going to keep up that first position, and how are we going to break the world record when we're faced by these storms. We are facing a storm right now, and I have no doubt in my mind that what we do right now, Matrics, in the next few weeks, we've got 21 days of lockdown, it's 20 days left. What we do now inside our heads is absolutely vital for the results that you're going to get at the end of this year, because you will decide right now what's going to happen for yourself in Matric, and what effect these 21 days can have on you. They can either be good or they can be bad. So let me quickly tell you, Billy and I, we had 4 storms during that row. We could either lock ourselves into the cabin, put out the parachute anchor, and wait until the storm was over, because it was terrifying being in that storm, or we could do something else. So Billy and I decided that what we would do is we would row harder during the storm. And let me tell you, there's fear that builds up inside your heart. You're suffering physically and mentally. So we went from rowing an hour and a half on, an hour and a half off, to an hour and a half on, half an hour off, which meant we went from rowing 12 hours a day to 18, 20 hours a day while we were suffering. To do that took an incredible amount of discipline. Not only physical discipline, but discipline inside our heads. It's about our attitude. It's about how much are we willing to sacrifice during this time. We are all in the storm together. Nobody is exempt from the storm. In fact, some people are going to experience it in a much greater way than we will. So, I've attached a couple of videos to this. Watch them, send them to your friends. Make sure that they understand that this is not a time to sit back and relax. This is a time to make sure that when these 20 days are over, we are not looking back at them going, geez, if only I could have done this over the last 20 days. When Billy and I finished every single storm, we were miles ahead of our competitors. You guys must fussbait. You must persevere, you must nyamazela. And I promise you that if we do the right things during this time, you will end up at the end of 2020 in this Matric year with the best results you could ever imagine. Good luck.